I'm gonna, I call to order this meeting.
Recording in progress.
I call to order this meeting of the Public Safety Committee for March 25th, 2026. Roll call, please.
Alderwoman Sims.
Here.
Alderman Gould.
Here.
Alderman Harder.
Here.
Alderman Pluska.
Here.
There's a quorum.
Thank you very much. The second item on our agenda is the approval of that agenda. Has everyone had a chance to look at it? And more importantly, are there any changes that anybody wants to make? Hearing none, seeing none, the agenda will stand as submitted. Next item on our agenda are citizen comments. Anybody who is in the audience or wants to, watching us on YouTube can get the attention of our wonderful city clerk and be recognized for up to 3 minutes to talk to us about any subject regarding public safety. Thank you. I will close citizen comments and ask if there are any reports of the committee. The chair does not have a report. Alderwoman Sims.
No report.
Alderman Gould.
No report.
No report, except I've just heard a lot of positive comments about the scooters.
Excellent.
It's been,
Yeah, actually, I do have a comment on that. I do want to thank staff for following up on the resident requests regarding the ordinance and clarifying all of that. I think it is demonstrating how, sometimes we don't even see all the little details, and even a resident can kind of ask a question. But the good thing is that the ordinance had the detail in there. We just needed to communicate it. So thank you for that, staff and chief.
Thank you. City Administrator's report, we do not have one. And now we come to department reports, and we'll start with our fire department. Chief, how are you?
I'm well, thank you.
Good. Happy spring.
The document at your positions obviously was created a little bit earlier this month, so there are some additional updates to these sections. The hiring update is as reported, so both of our candidates passed their pre-employment physicals. They've been assigned to a shift. I had one of them outfitted at Leon's today, and he'll be starting on March 31st. We'll be getting Sam Rogers-Bacter out of the academy on the 15th. He'll be starting on the 28th, so we'll be just one person down then. The exciting thing for us is the fire engine update. So as of right now, it still sits in Wisconsin, but I was told that it's going to start making the trek down to St. Louis and probably be in Eureka by Sunday. So that means everything that they've change orders, all the additions and the paint touch-ups, everything that we identified March 8th or 10th is repaired and fixed. It'll come down here to Eureka. They'll do cleaning and detailing, and then they'll do a post-delivery inspection, which essentially replicates what they did at the factory up in Wisconsin. Then our truck committee goes down there, and then we meet with the polycarbonate fabricator to do the drawers, shelves, containers, all the plastic stuff that needs to be done. That's a local vendor. He's done work for us and several fire departments. We're probably looking at less than a month. Things should be sitting in station, so we're really excited for that. The other new vehicle in the fleet is the fire marshal's vehicle, so that is the Ford Maverick little miniature pickup truck. The only thing we're waiting for on that is the lighting package, the emergency lights, and that's just a workflow for PSU down in Fenton. They have so many vehicles crammed in there, we're just waiting in line for our spot. The training tower, another exciting thing. We're essentially complete with that project. There are some minor training details for the heat monitoring systems that the instructors will use during live burns. That takes place next week. The training commission met yesterday to go over some details for outside vendors, set of pricing and fee schedule. That's a work in progress as well. And then we were asked to kind of block off April 24th at 10 a.m. for a tentative groundbreaking and dedication for the tower. So once we get some more information on that and solidify that date, we'll get invitations out to everyone and would be very happy to see everybody there for that. That's pretty much it, except we had the assist to Webster Groves for a structure fire down on Marshall Place. That was a remodeling job that kind of got out of hand. Electrical fire, and it was an addition on the house, so it essentially burned the addition off and then got into the regular part of the house. So we were integral with water supply, primary search, salvage and overhaul, so that was good. No injuries for civilians or personnel. So that's the report for this month. The other document is the performance stats under the new system. That seems to be working. So if you need the data in any other form or any other information, I'll be more than happy to include that.
Questions from the committee? I have a question. So when that truck is ours and it's in, are you gonna have some kind of a welcome to Brentwood unveiling where it's gonna be sitting out on the driveway?
Yeah,
on
it'll be a
Saturday
pretty big
morning?
sheet for the unveiling, but yeah, we'll have something put together.
Excellent.
It'll probably look very similar to what happened last time, way before I got here, but I have enough history in my other job with unveiling new vehicles, so it'll be nice.
I just will tell you, I have a 9-year-old granddaughter who I mentioned the fact that we were getting a new fire truck 3 or 4 months ago, and I saw her again recently, and she asked me for an update. So she definitely wants to know.
Well, as you know, we're open 24/7, so whenever she wants to stop by, she's more than
Excellent.
welcome.
Okay. Yeah, anyway, thank you very
Very
much.
good,
Chief.
thanks.
Peace. How are you, sir?
Good evening. If your granddaughter really wants to see neat stuff, have her come to the police department.
That's what I keep telling her. Right.
I was hoping to come up here and explain to you guys that crime's way down and we're safe as we can be in Brentwood, which is very true for the most part. But we did have an incident today. I think most of you saw it on the email. Guy's in custody, gun recovered, warrants will be issued on the case. Interestingly enough, the guy's never been arrested before. So he sure screwed up his life in one angry moment. So luckily the guy he shot at was not hit. Truck got killed, but he survived. So detectives and the responding officers did a great job putting it together very quickly. So we expect the warrants will be issued tomorrow on that case. The good news is through the month of March, we continue to see a reduction in crime that honestly is pretty surprising. There is one thing that's driving that I wanted to share with you that I think you probably have seen on the news, that Metrolink has made some substantial changes to their security. So I've been watching this over the last few months, trying to see, you know, would it hit us in Brentwood, because it is a source of our crime for retail, and our crime has come down. So in January, from January 1 to today, we did a comparison between 2025 and 2026. In 2025, there were 44 crimes in Brentwood for stealing. And today, same dates, same year later, we had 12. That's a substantial drop. So we have to credit Metrolink for what they're doing. So I called Metrolink. I talked to the boss over there. They're about 90% done with all of their extensions of gates and things that they're doing. But they have seen, this is an interesting thing, he told me that they have seen a 50% uptick in sales. That's almost unbelievable. So half the people that have been riding those trains have not been paying their tickets. And those are the people that are coming in and doing the things to these cities that they shouldn't be doing. So that's just an indicator that what they're doing is successful. Another thing that they're doing is adding a lot of cameras. So I think the last public safety meeting, I think I told you the story of the subway robbery. And the guy got on the train carrying the money tray that he had stolen from Subway from us. Crystal clear, it was go to prison pictures. They added 40 cameras to our system here in Brentwood. That's a lot. So all over our system in Brentwood alone, this is just Brentwood, they added 40 cameras. So we're up to 48 cameras in Brentwood, just on their platforms, the walkways, and all these other things, trains. And they're being monitored in a real-time crime center in real time. So it's really an upgrade from where they were. Another thing that they did was extend fencing. So oftentimes our guys would get a call for whatever crime it was. And the bad guys knew that they could escape routes off the Metrolink because nothing was fenced in. So we'd be chasing these guys down tunnels, behind the hill around the police station. Well, they built fencing up down both sides, extensive fencing, very long fencing. They're trapped, and they know it. So that helps too. They're not going to be able to get away, and they're going to know they can't get away because of that when they see it. We have a really good working relationship with Metro now. They interact with us very well. So I think that as we look at why we have a reduction in these crimes in our retail areas, I think that's a glaring reason. So we're glad to have them, and hopefully it keeps driving this crime down a little bit. But during the month of March, we've had no nighttime crime, not one time. And if you all remember, since I've been here, I've been with you guys for over 8 years now. We have been, early on, we had struggled mightily with these nighttime dangerous criminals. And there's not much to talk about anymore, which is a blessing. But it doesn't mean it's over. Florissant had a whole group of these guys that they took off about 2 weeks ago. And they were hitting St. Charles area and further north. Luckily, they didn't come to us too much, but they're still out there. I think you can really, and we've told this to you before, the juvenile courts, city's change of a prosecutor, the actions of our officers and their attentiveness and their willingness to jump these guys and get them out of Brentwood. These are all kind of the ingredients, I think, of that success, and it continues to show itself. Moving on from the crime report, just to give you an update on the Blue Shield grant that we applied for and got last year. The check came in. I told Bola today we're waiting on the check to arrive in the mail. So they paid $48,000 for a portion of our radios. So Joe Sullivan bought those radios. They're in play already. He's applying for a second grant. That money reopens here shortly. I think June 1st it reopens, so we're writing another grant for more radios. I'm hopeful that we'll get that. I'm pretty confident that we will. So that'll knock us down substantially on costs on our radios, which is nice for the city. I think as we look at next year, we're probably looking at about purchasing city money, 8 radios, and we'll be done. That's the way it looks. So it could be 1 or 2 radios either way, depending on the money we get, as long as we get this grant. Give you a quick update on the education of the police department with the EV. The EV was not charging well. We couldn't figure it out. Brian Hopler, the guy that drives it every day in traffic, came to us and said, there's something wrong here. Well, the reason was, we called the electric company, they put a charger in. It's kind of, call it a generic charger. It was a good charger, but they put it in. We later found out that GM sells chargers, and they sell chargers for their cars. Yeah, so, but luckily there was no cost to it. They flipped it out, and so now it's charging fully, and it's acting the way it should. So just another lesson learned in the EV game. So there's been a few. The newest truck, one vehicle that we purchased, the city purchased for the PD, has been striped and marked. It's just waiting for lights and siren and all the other stuff.
Question about that?
Yes,
Just on the EV, do you think that, I know that when we had that really bad cold snap, that the charging was even worse. Do you think that this appropriate battery will help with that?
I think so, yeah. I would guess, yes. And yeah, we did have that problem, but that probably, we'll see next year. I guess we can talk about that
Yeah, I guess it was in
January.
the
But yes,
freezer
I do
nearby.
think, I see your point. Yeah, I do think it'll make it better, so. So our new truck, I think, will be in, probably slow process. I'd shared a little bit of that with you. I'm thinking July, maybe August, by the time that truck's ready. The last thing I was going to mention to you, we have a recruit in training. The city of Brentwood paid for this recruit to go through the police academy. He's graduating now on April 2nd. It's Connor Drexler. His father is one of our firefighters, and his father was a fire chief, I believe. So Connor finally, he was one of the family that got smart and switched teams and figured out the right direction to go in life. But that'll fill up our staff, and the police department will be full when Connor gets here. So we always seem to struggle, like all of the police departments, fire departments now. We always struggle to keep it. It's nice to be up to full staff. Connor probably won't count as a police officer for about 6 months because he's got to train, but he'll catch on quick. He's a smart kid. Any question?
Very much.
Yes, sir.
Dan? Public Works?
Got a bunch of miscellaneous projects for updates. Starting at the top, Manchester Road, the electrician, I know we had talked about this before, there's the control cabinet on the north side, just east of Dorothy. It's being fabricated, it just takes forever, so it's looking at like May or June. And then they'll just swap out what's there with the new one and connect that, so that'll get those functioning again. The conduit bore should be done here soon. I know that they already applied for their permit. The electrician should be doing that. Those are those 4 by what used to be the Circle K. And then there's 2 independent ones that are also broken. There's the one over by the self-storage. That one's been ordered. That delivery should be here in April. That one, right now, it's just a base. You don't even see it because we removed it. It was leaning so bad, we were afraid it would fall over. And then another one, someone veered off the road over by the Rock Church of St. Louis, at 9125 Manchester, and they clipped it. But that one, there's a police report. We'll fix it, turn it in, and get insurance money, at least for that one. McKnight Road, the crosswalk project, staff finished that yesterday. I know I've been playing around with the software. The one thing that isn't working, which I talked to their technical support, there's an antenna on the unit that's on the Ladue side. They do work, so when you press the button, the beacons flash. The one thing that isn't working because the antenna seems to be not functioning on that side is there's a camera, so I can't get feed to the camera. The camera's connected, but it's not functioning. But the software is pretty cool, so I was just playing with it before the meeting, so I can filter the data. You could print the data if you wanted to. You can create PDF, CSV, XLS files for just about anything. So it'll tell me the unit's health. It'll tell me the voltage of either the solar collector as well as the current, the board temperature. If it gets too hot, it'll send an alert. Some of the other alerts would be like low voltage, high board temp. The LEDs are out, they're not flashing. It also has a thing called an accelerometer, and what that is it's in the pole and it measures degrees. So right now it's plumb, it's at 0, but if a car hits it or the wind pulls it too many degrees, it'll send an alert saying it's not plumb. It's kind of cool, like today was the first day it ran for not 24 hours because we haven't completed today, but starting at midnight through 5:38 p.m., there's been 149 activations. There's more activations on the Ladue side than our side, which I don't know why, but it color codes and it shows me like which panel got pressed versus the other one. So I can check east or west side, and you can print that off or whatever you want to do with it. It's pretty neat. Once we get the last bit fixed, then everything will be functional, so I'll be able to use the camera in case someone's saying that people don't stop for them. I know I can set up other users. I could add the police or whoever I want to as the administrator, so. I just did like one little screenshot. That was before it was actually like knowing where it was. So it shows itself on a map, but that isn't truly where it is. Now when I click on it, it actually shows McKnight and Sonora, and it shows both of them on either side. So that's pretty cool. So I would think people that are using it would have a better experience because it no longer lights up around the sign. It's the rapid flash beacons, the rectangular ones like you see along Manchester.
You take a question?
Yeah.
You said you'll get a notification if it gets too hot.
If the board temperature does, yeah.
So tomorrow it's going to be 90 degrees or whatever. Let's say it gets too hot. What do you do?
I don't know. They didn't tell us, but I know it'll send an alert. Right now, it actually has like a range, and it shows normal, even though it's like 100 degrees Fahrenheit is what the board temperature is reading right now. That's considered normal for it. So
I didn't know if you had to go out and cover it up or,
I don't think so. I mean, the other controller was similar, but it didn't send an alert, so you would have no idea what the temperature was. But yeah, I guess if it overheats, it would either turn itself off to protect itself, or else we have to de-energize it. There is a fuse that you can pull that kills the power to the whole system. Basically a kill safe. Yeah, it's the neat part, or not really neat part, was they didn't send us all the books. So whenever we had like 3 out of the 4, it was like you're matching stuff up. I mean, we can figure out the color coding. It's pretty simple, but where you actually mount it, it didn't tell you. So it's like, I'm not going to drill any holes into something unless I know where I'm supposed to drill it. And then when we got the other book, it says, oh yeah, make a mark, 6 feet, whatever, and tells you how to actually mount it and which friction couplings to use. So that helps. So it kind of felt like building something from IKEA where you're just looking at pictures and guessing. Yeah, luckily there only is like one little thing of wiring that's extra, and they said that was just to get the batteries to start the system, and then they pushed out software updates, so should be good there. The solar lights, there was a survey postcard that we hand delivered to Mary Kay and Douglas Court. Those 2 streets have until the 27th, so this Friday, to respond. So far, more in favor than against. So I did send an email to the solar light people, or one of them that we got quotes from before. I'll do another one, because they do vary. It was anywhere, looking at past information, it's between $4,000 and $7,000 per unit, depending on decorative features and things of that nature. I would probably go with something like we used on Laverne Court or Bedford, that's more of a simple square steel. And those have been in service since 2017 and haven't caused us any issues. And the ones that we were looking at, you can actually dim with your phone app. So if somebody says it's too bright, I can adjust it. I can even like turn it on, turn it off manually, or let it go on, dust it on. Sidewalk cutting, precision concrete cutting is done. Everything in Brentwood Forest, as far as I know, went off without a hitch. And then we're still waiting on the invoice to do the project closeout, and we did actually submit information to MML for an innovation award, see if we would get that for medium-sized cities, since apparently nobody's really submitted for this. It's proprietary, I know the sidewalk cutting is. That's it.
Thank you very much, Dave.
Thanks.
Next item that we have is the consent agenda, which consists of our minutes from the February 25th, 2026 meeting. Are there any changes, redactions, additions? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Seconded, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Alderwoman Sims.
Yes.
Alderman Gould.
Yes.
Alderwoman Harder.
Yes.
Alderman Plufka.
Yes. Next item on our agenda is an old business item, well, although just recently old. We adopted a rather comprehensive policy and plan with regard to e-bikes and the number of variations that stem from that, and discovered, as I understand it from reading through this, that there were a couple of residents who had indicated, well, what do you do if you are confined to a wheelchair, or you're in a device that requires, and you have disabilities that require you to use it for transportation? And as I understand it, and what it looks like to me, is that our city attorney has decided, I think rather elegantly, to simply carve out that use as being not applicable to this entire ordinance. Is that right? So are you looking for our committee to then recommend or not recommend this change in the definition? And then does it have to go to the full board?
No, because it's already in. Michelle was right on it
Okay.
and made the change
Okay.
to the, we call it, what is it, the EPAMD?
Right, right.
So she's already made, it's not here, but she's already made the change. We pushed it out on social media. So no action is required by the
Oh,
committee.
great. Okay, wonderful. I mean, that's,
Yeah, if you-
it's great, and you mentioned it already, but it was great that it was caught, and that somebody said, hey, what about this? And I think it's a tribute to how the ordinance was written, that it can be so easily adapted. My entire practice is involved in a single statute, and so I know very well when legislatures don't do their job. So that was great. We do not have any new business, as far as I can tell. We do have one more opportunity for citizen comments. As I stated earlier, anybody online or in the audience who wishes to address this committee on a subject of public safety, you'll be given up to 3 minutes. Identify yourself by name and address. Thank you. I'm going to close citizen comments, and since we have no other items on the agenda, I declare this meeting adjourned.